Bonjour, hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel, guys. So in today's video, I am doing some more South Park nails inspired by Cartman and his stuffed animals. If you guys don't know this, South Park happens to be one of my favorite shows ever, and after rewatching season 15 episode 1%, I decided like, hey, why don't I turn these into some nail art? So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So starting on the first nail design, which is going to be on my thumbnail, it's actually inspired by a glass set that I bought at Walmart. That being said, I'm going to go in with a very fine toothpick as well as dark green acrylic paint just to roughly sketch on the outline of Clyde Frog. Once the green acrylic paint has completely dried, I'm now going to go in and start painting on like his eyes, his mouth, as well as his stitches. I guess you can say so far so good. I'm going to go back in and fix that green acrylic paint just because it's a little too dark. But in the meantime, I'm now going to go in with some black acrylic paint and start sketching on the outline of Cartman. Once the outline is done, I'm now going to go in with different shades of acrylic paint to start filling in Cartman. And yeah, so here it is. Here's the finished nail design. Now you can just leave it like this, but because this is Cartman's favorite stuffed animal, I decided to add a little tiny pink heart in the corner, but like I said, 100% completely optional. Anywho, I'm now going to move on to the next nail design, which is going to be on the index nail. And first things first is I'm going to go in with some purple acrylic paint in my toothpick and roughly sketch on the outline of Rumpertumskin. So this next part is like really hard to explain, but I'm making sure each layer of acrylic paint is completely dry before I go in, and just looking at a reference photo of the stuffed animal, I'm going to do my best to replicate it on this tiny little nail. There's a reason why I use time-lapse is because this one nail design alone took me 30 minutes, but anyways, here it is, all completed and done. And now moving on to the third nail design, which is going to be on the middle nail. Once again, I am just going to go in with, different shades of acrylic paint, and I'm going to do my best to paint on Prissypants. So, as you see right here, I accidentally used the wrong shade of pink for her dress, and this is why I like to use acrylic paint, because any oopsie daisies you do, you can just like paint over and it won't like clump up the nail design. That being said, she was kind of hard to paint on. This isn't exactly how she appears in the episode, oh well, but here's the finished nail design. And now moving on to the fourth nail design, which is by far the easiest. I'm just going to use black and white acrylic paint and just paint on Panda. Okay, so I lied. I actually went in with a little bit of pink for the ears, as well as painted on a tiny little heart, and here's the finished nail design. And now moving on to the fifth and final nail design, which actually was the hardest. I first went in with some black acrylic paint and roughly sketched on the outline of Muscleman Marc. So because the pinky nail is so tiny on top of there's a lot of detail of how this toy appears in the episode, it's not going to look like exactly how it appears, but I did my best. Alas, in the end, he came out looking more like a Clark Kent Quasimodo hybrid. Not to mention, it was really hard to paint on his tattoos. On one arm, he has Clyde Frog, on the other one, Rumpertumskin. But like I said, guys, it's the pinky nail. I did the best I could. I know it doesn't really look that good. But anyways, so that concludes the nail art portion, and now to finish everything off, I'm first going to go in with this quick dry top coat just to smooth out the acrylic paint. And then whenever that dried, I went on top of it with a matte top coat just because I like the matte finishes. But as I always say in all my nail art tutorials, feel free to add whatever finishing of your choice, even shiny or hollow. But here it is, guys. Here's the completed South Park Cartman's Stuffed Animals 1% inspired nail art. I'm not really sure what to call this nail design at the moment, but anyways, this next part, I really wanted to show you the side-by-side comparison of Cartman and his toys. This, hands down, was probably the hardest nail art I have ever done on my channel, and I just wanted to show you these side-by-side comparisons because I really want your guys' feedback on how I did on this nail art. But yes, guys, let me know down in the comments what you thought of today's video, as well as any other nail art or nail art suggestions you might have, and I will do my best to make it happen. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching!